A deer on this farm has to produce something in order to acquire a name, and Commander didn't start out that way. He was a yearling spike, but he defied that.
I don't know what's going on with him, but he definitely doesn't seem right. Put him in the first holding cell.
And I actually had to enter neurology group. They're able to fix my blown disc without surgery.
With how severe it is, you're actually very, very lucky to even be able to go on this hunt.
This is Doug Roberts. He's raised some of the largest typical whitetails in North America. His farm produces the best hunting scents in the world. His life's quest is 200-inch typical whitetails. This is ConQuest 200.
Hey. You want to pray before you take off? Before you peeling out of here? Dear God, our Heavenly Father, we come to you and we thank you for all the responsibilities that you've given us, and I pray that we would remember to put you first before we get busy with our day. I pray that you would once again give us mercy and grace and your wisdom. I ask this in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
And wash your truck.
I'll wash it. I got deer to dirt first.
The rigorous daily tasks and responsibilities required for maintaining a healthy whitetail herd can sometimes seem overwhelming. Every member of the ConQuest crew must rely on the other, communicate, and work as a team to ensure everything gets done correctly and safely. Today, Doug Roberts and the crew of ConQuest Deer Farm plan on darting and de-antlering all the yearling bucks before the rut kicks in. It's a long process, and the team must make sure everything is in order before the day begins.
Well, while Nate and Talon are getting everything ready at the farm, I actually have to go over to Williams Gun Site and Outfitters and pick up my dart gun. They're the ones that actually can do a thorough cleaning of that gun because we use it so much. Now, the gun's 26 years old, and they do a great job of cleaning that gun. We're going to be using that all day long. I just want to make sure that it's clean and shoots accurately, so we're going to head over there and pick the gun up right now.
Mr. Eli, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Doug. How about yourself?
Good.
What's up?
Kevin was cleaning my dart gun, and I got to dart some deer today.
They've been there since 1926 when the Williams brothers actually started it. And the inventory of used guns and the gunsmithing part of their company is just tremendous. You can go online anywhere in the country and order parts from them, send guns or parts to them that they can work on and send back to you. But there's nothing that they don't have when it comes to guns, archery, and ammunition.
Oh, so it's all cleaned up, ready to go.
Cool. Well, we got a bunch of yearlings. We got a dart and de-antler today. I appreciate it. We're going to get going.
Sir.
Good seeing you again, Eli. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Take care.
In September, we normally get a cooler day now and then, and so I like to take those days and actually dart all of the yearling bucks and de-antler them. It just it keeps them from injuring each other when they're play fighting, but it also allows us to vaccinate, medicate, worm them, pull DNA on the ones that I potentially want to pull out as backup breeder bucks, and those bucks will actually leave the antlers on, but I get a close-up look at them and see the health and condition of those deer by doing this.
Darting and de-antlering so many deer at once is a delicate process. Doug and his team must work efficiently, documenting every detail of each buck. Not only are the antlers collected, tagged, and kept for comparison the following year, but the ConQuest team must also inspect each deer for any sign of health issues, all while keeping the rest of the herd calm and out of the way.
It takes multiple people to actually get this de-antlering process done. So we've got Nate and actually Jeff Locker, a good friend of ours that I've asked to kind of film a lot of this, but he's also going to be involved lifting the deer and bringing them up to the barn.
One of the bucks in the yearling pen is a 2-year-old named Commander.
Commander's really unique, and I learned this lesson years and years ago when I first got into the deer business, that a spike is not always a spike. The genetics are inside that deer, and it just has to have the ability to come out.
2-year buck.
Commander was a 2-inch spike as a year old, and he was being picked on so bad by all the other yearlings, I actually moved him and put him in with the buck fawns. So he's a 2-year-old now, 2.5-year-old buck, in with all the 1.5-year-olds. But the amazing thing about him is he went from a 2.5-inch, 2-inch spike to this beautiful, wide 6x6 typical.
He keeps his antlers on. I don't know what's going on with him, but he definitely doesn't seem right.
Doug knows that Commander's heavy breathing can only mean one thing. Doug Roberts has been darting his yearling bucks in order to remove their antlers before the rut kicks in. This process will ensure that the young bucks can't injure themselves or each other while playing or fighting in the coming months. Cutting off their antlers is painless for the deer, as they've already rubbed off the majority of their velvet.
As we're darting these deer and we're bringing them up, one of the things you listen for, you're always looking at the whole deer as a whole, but you're also listening, and some of them were breathing heavy.
I don't know what's going on with him, but he definitely doesn't seem right.
Commander was one of them. He had pneumonia. Deer just get it. Wild deer get it. Our deer on the farms get it. And so once I heard him with that heavy breathing, I knew I had to give him some different antibiotics that would take and clear his lungs up quickly. So we put him actually in a holding stall in case we had to re-medicate him for a little bit, because he was going to be one of the backup breeder bucks.
For right now, put him in the first holding stall long term. Okay. The flip is water, so we can get water in there. When you come back around, just put water.
A deer on this farm has to produce something in order to acquire a name, and Commander didn't start out that way. He was a yearling spike, which, you know, we don't even pay attention to that. It doesn't catch anybody's eye here other than, oh no, you know, it's a yearling spike. What do you do with that? But he defied that. He proved us wrong, and the next year, wow, he's incredible. And you know, you think you see it all, you think you know it all when you've been deer farming for over 20 years, and then that happens.
With the whitetail rut quickly approaching, the other half of the ConQuest team has their own work cut out for them. ConQuest Scents leads the industry when it comes to hunting scents. Although their product line covers multiple species, there's no busier time of the year than the whitetail hunting season.
There's a lot of people that make this happen, and Brooke's newly on board, taking care of our shipping for us. Michael is our Swiss Army knife. Every company needs one of those. He takes care of everything from A to Z for us. We're so grateful to have him. We have a great team.
Doug and Karen Roberts not only manufacture and sell their ConQuest scent products, but Doug also uses them when the rare opportunity arises.
This is what I do. This is my thing. This is my gig. And so I'm excited to actually have Doug use our scent products, because he's the one that actually came up with it, and then I took the reins. And now that he has an opportunity to go on an early season hunt and use the stuff early season, I'm excited, not just for his hunt, and I am, but how's the scent working?
Well, you know, the stress levels come down once you have everything darted and you know you've got everything tied up. We're kind of cleaning up, finishing up the last few animals, but I've got to get done here, and I got to actually head to our neurology group, the chiropractor that I go to for my back. You know, they're able to fix my blown disc without me having to go through surgery. But I got to get there one more time just before I head out to Kansas for the early muzzleloader season, where I want to set out the scents and use the scents with the bucks out there.
Hi, Doug. How's it going? Good. How are you feeling?
Sore.
Good. All right. You're going to come on over here with me. We're going to have you go ahead and lay down and get you adjusted today. My name is Dr. Christine Hancharek. I'm the owner of Hancharek Chiropractic Neurology Group, based out of Grand Blanc, Michigan, and my specialty is chiropractic neurology. Are you getting more pain on the right or the left today?
Left.
Specifically in the farming community like Doug is in, there are so many people that suffer from low back issues on a daily basis, just from abnormal wear and tear on the body, which creates the body to break down a lot faster. And the vertebrae above and the vertebrae below creates this actual foramen or facet. As you get on the spine, these spaces should actually get larger, and in Doug's case, you can see down here, there's actually almost zero foramen at all in there. I mean, where we're at this point, you know, with your spine and how severe it is, you're actually very, very lucky to even be able to go on this hunt. This is not just about backs and necks. Actually, it's about the study of the nervous system. And so many people don't realize that just because they have a low back issue or neck issue, that they're actually affecting every single tissue, organ, and body part throughout their entire body, and therefore everything else falls apart. Well, best of luck to you. Good luck. I'm happy you get to go, and I can't wait to hear how fantastic and successful this hunt is.
I'll let you know in about a week.
All right, great.
Okay.
Doug Roberts has traveled to Kansas for an early season muzzleloader hunt with Team 200 member Chris Seymour. Chris has been using ConQuest deer scents for years and has seen firsthand the effectiveness of Doug and Karen's scent products.
I catch a deer the other day, and I think I either popped a couple lower vertebrae or tore the muscle. But anyway,
You need to stretch, man. It's all about flexibility.
Chris is actually a school teacher. And of course, I was a school teacher years ago, so we kind of have that in common. But he's had a guide service business out there where he leases a number of different properties.
You know, this little highway spot is just, there's about, I don't know, $8 in there. And there's a bunch of nice 2- and 3-year-olds, 12 pointers, there's a 10 in there.
Chris is a unique individual in the sense that he uses a tremendous amount of trail cams. And so he isolates on the biggest bucks on all of these properties. But the other thing I found out, he does something that I like to do, and that's using decoys. He loves using a visual sight, such as a decoy, with the scent, because you're getting 2 of the 3 senses locked in.
Meanwhile, back at ConQuest Deer Farm, Nate and Talon are responsible for the health of Commander, a 2-year-old buck chosen by Doug to enter the breeding program. Showing signs of pneumonia during a routine vaccination and DNA process, they've decided to keep Commander in a holding pen for close observation.
So today we're going to dart Commander one last time to give him some more medication for the pneumonia. Hopefully what we give him today will fight it off and he'll be done after today. Doug just left for Kansas, so it's going to be up to Talon and I to get this deer on the ground and medicated. We're going to tranquilize him just to get the medications in him that much quicker.
Once the dart hits, Nate and Talon must move quickly. The longer Commander stays under, the higher the risk of complications when waking him up.
Once he's back up on his feet, I have to go work at the hospital for the next couple days, so Talon will have to come in on his days off to observe the deer, make sure he's okay.
I've got this really good 2.5-year-old buck that I'm really happy about that's going to be a breeder in a holding stall, and I'm relying on both of them to make the judgment call. Is he doing better to release him to the pen, or is he not doing better? So that had me a little nervous and a little stressed, but yet I was still looking forward to getting out to Kansas and actually hunting Kansas for the first time.
Well, it's the first morning in Kansas early muzzleloader. We just got set up and we're in a blind. Beautiful morning. There was a chance of rain this morning, but so far it looks nice and clear.
I think
think the old myth of using scent products for hunting makes it correlate with when gun season opens up. But really, when you look at EverCalm being all the scents and smells of a bedding area, it's an all-season scent. You can start using it right from the time you're setting up trail cams in the summer and scouting your area. You're putting the smell of real deer there. And Doug being on an early season hunt, EverCalm's perfect.
With an EverCalm stink stick hanging in his ground blind, Doug Roberts watches as several does walk his way.
That right there is a perfect example of how EverCalm works. Now, they came up and they got right here. The fawn ran right to us. Now, they got behind us and they definitely smelled us. There's 2 of us in here. They never blew once, they never stomped once. They just simply turned, trotted back down the hill, and went down in. It keeps deer calm, even though they were alerted. They got right here downwind, I know that. But they didn't panic, they didn't cause a commotion, so we're still able to keep hunting.
With Doug Roberts in Kansas on an early season muzzleloader hunt, Talon is left with the responsibilities back on ConQuest Deer Farm. After seeing improvement in the health of Commander, one of Doug's better 2-year-old bucks, Talon has made the call to release him from the observation enclosure back to his 12-acre pen. It's a risky move, and although Talon is confident in his decision, he can only hope that Commander has no serious side effects from the medication given to treat his pneumonia.
I'm gonna go out there. We medicated him yesterday again. He was still a little groggy when I left work last night, and just going out to check on him again, make sure he's up and doing okay.
Hunting Kansas with friend, outfitter, and Team 200 member Chris Seymour, Doug Roberts is having little luck.
Well, we're heading out for the evening hunt. Again, we're going to another new spot tonight. Everything we've been seeing on trail cams as far as bucks have been moving at nighttime. This east wind, completely opposite of what they're normally used to, has really messed the deer herd up, and they're just moving at night. They're not moving during daylight hours. So we're gonna head up. We're actually gonna get into a ladder stand this time, not a ground blind, so we're gonna get up in the air a little bit.
Even though Doug has put his back out, the hunt is on. And Nate's working, so it's all up to Talon and keeping our fingers crossed, not just for Talon's sake, but of course for the deer's sake.
Back on ConQuest Deer Farm, every passing moment seems like an eternity as Talon continues his nerve-wracking search for Commander.
I don't like this. Take a breath of relief right now.
It's like, I kind of breathe that sigh of relief with Talon because nobody wants to call Doug and tell him bad news.
I'm just glad he's up and running around. Big relief.
We'll be excited to watch him grow. This is definitely a buck that we're going to pay attention to every day, and he'll carry on his genetics, and we'll be able to see that unfold as the years come as well.
For Doug Roberts and his ConQuest crew, the importance of beginning each day with prayer and preparation is without equal. Placing their faith in God and relying on each other allows them to deal with the daily stresses and problems that may arise, and reassures them that no matter what trials or tribulations come their way, in the end, they still have divine protection over the whitetail herd they love so much.